Hey there, DIY enthusiasts! Welcome back to another exciting and informative video. Ever finished a welding project and noticed your metal parts aren't as straight as they should be? It's frustrating, right? That's welding distortion, and it's a common issue that many welders face, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro. So, what causes welding distortion? Let's dive into the details. Well, it all comes down to heat. The intense heat applied during welding is the main culprit. When you weld, you apply intense heat to the metal, causing it to expand. This expansion is a natural response to the high temperatures. As the metal cools, it contracts. This contraction can lead to significant changes in the shape of the metal. This uneven heating and cooling cycle leads to distortion. The metal doesn't return to its original shape, resulting in warping or twisting. Now, there are three main types of welding distortion you need to know about. First, there's longitudinal distortion. This type stretches the metal along the weld line, making it longer than intended. Then we have transverse distortion, which pulls the metal across the weld line, causing it to become wider. And finally, there's angular distortion, making the metal bend or tilt at an angle, which can be particularly tricky to fix. Alright, let's get into how to prevent these distortions. Prevention is key to achieving clean, precise welds. Tip number 1. Control your heat input. This is one of the most effective ways to minimize distortion. Use a lower heat setting or make shorter welds. This reduces the amount of heat applied to the metal at any one time. This minimizes the expansion and contraction, keeping the metal closer to its original shape. You can also use intermittent welding instead of a continuous bead. This technique involves welding in small, spaced-out sections. It spreads the heat over a larger area, reducing distortion by preventing excessive heat buildup in one spot. Tip number 2. Use proper clamping and fixturing. This is crucial for maintaining the shape of your workpiece. Secure your workpiece with clamps to hold it in place. This helps keep the metal from moving during welding. This helps counteract the forces causing distortion, ensuring your metal stays where you want it. Tip number 3. Preheat thicker metals. Thicker metals are more prone to distortion due to their mass. Preheating reduces the temperature difference between the weld area and the rest of the metal, making the process more uniform. This leads to more even cooling and less distortion, resulting in a more stable final product. Tip number 4. Backstep welding. This technique involves welding in short sections but in reverse order. Instead of welding from start to finish, weld in short sections moving backward. This helps manage heat distribution. This distributes the heat more evenly, preventing excessive buildup in any one area. Tip number 5. Use a balanced welding sequence. Planning your welds in a balanced order is essential. If you have multiple welds, do them in a balanced order, not all on one side. This helps distribute the heat more evenly. This helps distribute the heat, reducing the risk of distortion, and there you have it. By following these tips, you can significantly reduce welding distortion. Understanding and preventing welding distortion is all about managing heat and planning your welds carefully. It's a skill that takes practice but is well worth the effort. So, next time you fire up that welder, keep these tips in mind. They'll help you achieve better results. You'll end up with straighter, cleaner projects that you're proud to show off. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more DIY tips and tricks. Happy welding!